Dude, I have no idea. I'm realizing that I'm just becoming more and more head empty, no thoughts as time goes on. In a fairly rampant, very quick pace. I don't know. I don't know, dude. Burnout is a thing. It is. And I don't know. Damn it, these pretzels are really good. I'm gonna be out of water very quickly. Really good pretzels. Oh man. 1975. You know what? Talking about years. History. Hold on.
Yay! I did it! I can do this.
Okay. Okay. So, I was looking at the Royal Armories. They had a thing about like Japanese arms and armor, which wasn't, it's really nice to have those sort of historical. Well, it's nice to have knowledge, just sort of open source knowledge. I don't know if open source is the right term, but just sort of free and like widely presented. It's for the sake of people knowing things instead of for a profit, which is I think probably good for everyone involved. Not to get political. I don't know if that is political. But I digress. It is super interesting though, because I don't know. I feel like Japan, I don't know, maybe in my eyes, has just been a lot of mystique, and there's sort of the, you've got people who think of Japan in one regard, like, like my grandfather, or my grandfathers who, are going to look at, Japan as, the enemy from World War II. I don't know how much that's true necessarily, but certainly you've got sort of, Japan, this old, the way of the samurai and ninjutsu and all that. And then you've got, Japan, the modern Japan with Pokemon and Final Fantasy. And where the hell does that come from? Or where the hell does that transition take place? And I mean, obviously, well, I don't know necessarily where the change happened in terms of Japan being such a developer of of software gaming or game software. Words. So I don't know where that happened, but I do know now where a few things changed. I'm not, I'm not gonna need Town Warp. Yeah, so, like, to me it was always the thing of, like, okay, so, Japan, like, Japan was very insular. They didn't really, they kept to themselves mostly. They would, occasionally, like, invade Korea and China. Or there would be wars with Korea and China, although I'm not sure when exactly that happened necessarily, but you know, eventually you have the Portuguese who show up, give the Japanese matchlocks. They love the things. There's a huge civil war apparently. Nice also. There's a huge civil war that you know, everybody's using guns. The resulting government that comes out of that heavily restricts guns, and to the point where they are still manufactured, but not nearly the number. And also the guns cease to be about technological advancement and become about more having the fanciest gun to, you know, look the coolest and most powerful. And then that goes on for a few centuries until, like, the world sort of opens Japan up. And then they're like, oh shit, yeah, we should probably, like, modernize. And then they very quickly and rapidly modernize. And, you know, and, you know, I don't know all the times necessarily, but, like, we're talking, like, 1500s? I don't know, like 1550s? Correct me if I'm wrong. But like 1550s, the Japanese get matchlocks. And then like the 1850s, or probably the 1860s actually. 60s or 70s. Is when Japan starts going to, like, the then modern firearms. That's when they adopt the Smith & Wesson model number 3. Alongside Russia, actually. And, you know, huge, you know, the Meiji period is just a huge military overhaul. Sort of. I don't know necessarily what happened, what came after the Meiji period. Apparently that was in 1912. But, you know, the biggest thing resulting is, of course, the Russo-Japanese War, where Japan almost completely kicks Russia's ass, except that they were, like, basically they had an invasion so that they could force a diplomatic solution, or diplomatic resolution of the conflict, and just completely shamed Russia as a result of it. But they actually, like, if they were going to try and continue assaulting Russian territory, they would have would be a terrible thing, which is I think it's just I think that conflict in particular, I find I've heard it summed up. It's just super interesting to me, especially because it's just the big things to note about are small arms, and that's pretty much all I care about, really.